Let's talk about 5 bottles of whiskey that I am not hunting for this allocation season 2024. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Wiskeyer. By the title, by the intro, you know what we're doing today. We're talking about 5 bottles of whiskey that I am not chasing after this allocation season because we're in the October, November, December. Now in November, those are the 3 real important months for bourbon and whiskey, especially when it comes to allocation drops, special releases from some of the most well-known distillers. This is when the BTAC collection comes out, the Pappy stuff, a lot of the good Michter's products comes out during this time. So I created a list about 5 bottles of whiskey that I'm just not chasing after, and I'm gonna give you explanation why. Let's get right into it. Starting with number 5, this might be quite a bit of a hot take, but if you know my background, you know I just don't like a lot that comes from this lineup, from this specific distillery, but it's gonna be Russell's 15. I almost didn't add it on the list because I've heard so many great things about it, and everyone says it's not like typical Wild Turkey, it's not like typical Russell's. I've passed up this bottle twice now. I had the opportunity to purchase it at MSRP twice, but passed it up just because it's a like $250 price tag, and I'm already not that big of a fan of Russell's. So if you kind of get where I'm going here, I just feel like I wouldn't enjoy it as much as the next person. That's why it makes number 5, because I already have denied it, and I feel like if I see it again in a store, it's not one that I'm gonna be reaching for at that price point. But look, I do wanna try it. I really, really do wanna try Russell's 15. If I can get a sample of that, taste it, maybe I might regret my decision. Original Grain is running a $100 off Black Friday sale, but you can save an extra 10% if you use code Wiskeyer at checkout. Let's talk about it. The Original Grain Watch Company is my favorite watch company in the world. They're a veteran and family-owned business that have been making watches for over 11 years now. The watch that I currently have on is actually made from used whiskey barrels. They've also partnered up with companies like Taylor Guitar, Jack Daniel's Distillery, and Toyota TRD. So no matter what you resonate with, they've got a watch for you. The gift giving season is upon us. If you have a special person in your life that you think would love these watches, I highly recommend you check out the new Jack Daniel's partnership. They're probably the best looking watches on the site right now. I absolutely love them. And I also love Jack Daniel's whiskey. So again, you can save $100 with their Black Friday sale going on right now, and an additional 10% off if you use code Wiskeyer at checkout. Make sure you head to originalgrain.com/Wiskeyer. Use code Wiskeyer at checkout. Thank you to Original Grain for sponsoring today's video. Number 4, this is Willett Purple Tops. Willett Purple Tops. I've had some amazing Willett Purple Tops. I've had some ranging from the 7-year mark all the way to, I believe, 11 years old, and they're great. I've had some that are pretty good, but I've had some that are fantastic. The reason that I put this as number 4 on my list is because it's very hard for me to justify the price tag. The cheapest I've ever seen one was $250, and that was a friendly hookup. Most of the time, you're not gonna see them for any less than $300. Maybe in your area it could be different, but I know for a fact the cheapest I've ever seen was, I think, $299. So $300, and I've seen them go as high as like $600. I just don't know if any single bottle of whiskey is that good. Is worth that price, I should say. Because I can buy quite a few of these to make up to $600. I'd be more happy with a few of these than one of those Purple Tops. That's why it made the list. I'm not saying that the whiskey is bad by any means. It is delicious. It's just, to me, hard to justify the price. Kind of the same thing with the Russell's probably. I have a feeling that the Russell's is really good, but I'm not willing to pay that price. I know that Willett Purple Tops are good, but I don't know if they're worth their price. Coming in at number 3, this might also be a hot take, and if you haven't found this bottle yet and you've been chasing after it, I'm not trying to be a dream killer here, but Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. I've had probably 4 or 5, I think 4 different years of Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, and I've only had, one of those that really did impress me, kind of gave me that wow factor, and I believe that it's over 150. I want to say 199 MSRP, but they're a little bit on the lower proof side of things, and when it comes to allocated products, I tend to chase after the higher proof offerings from distilleries. So lower proof, I'm not gonna knock it for that, but overall mouthfeel, the finish, how long it lasted, how long it sat there, it kind of fell flat for me. Each different year, even the really, really good one, I would choose a bottle of, Weller 107 over it, to be completely honest. But again, I'm not trying to offend anyone with this entire list. I'm just giving you my opinion. Old Forester Birthday Bourbons, to me, are not worth chasing after. Moving on to number 2. Now, I don't think this will be that hot of a take. I feel like so far we've had quite a few hot takes, but you know, this is just all opinion based, guys. But number 2, Parker's Heritage, the 14-year single malt. 14-year-old single malt. Sounds really, really good. I love a good single malt, American single malt whiskey. But to be honest with you, I don't buy them that often. I might have 7 or 8 bottles behind me, but I don't buy them that often, and this comes at a hefty $175 MSRP. Now, it is a 14-year-old age-stated product, which is great, and it's also finished in cognac barrels. I do like some cognac, I do like some Armagnac, and I do like American single malt, but Heaven Hill American single malt for that price, I just can't do it. I don't know if any single malt I have behind me is worth over 140 bucks. Some of the best whiskey, one of my top 5 whiskeys of the year actually, just so happens to be a single malt that came in at $130. It's one of those things that you probably need to try before you buy with this Parker's, but that had to make my list. It's just one that I know for a fact, if I'm waiting in line somewhere or I win a raffle, whatever it may be, I promise that's not gonna be one of the first bottles I buy. Let me know in the comments, is that one that you would immediately reach for just because you're a Heaven Hill fan or a Parker's fan, or would you maybe agree, would you pass it up? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to number 1. We have Sazerac 18 from the BTAC collection. Now, hear me out. I'm not going to pass it up at MSRP just because I know maybe somewhere in the line I can trade someone that might really want it for a product that I might really want. I'm not going to resell. I would not flip any of these bottles, but I would make some trades. Like let's say a Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. If I don't have a Maker's Mark Cellar Aged, or someone has a 2023, one of my favorite whiskeys of the year last year, and I have a Sazerac 18 from this year, we can do a one-off trade. But the reason that it made my list for one whiskey that I would rather not purchase is because it's not that great. I got to try this when I was in the Denver area at a place called Parker Garage. They had a pour, I believe it was $35 for a pour, which is actually not that bad when you're considering the BTAC collection. And once we sat there and got to taste it, had some sips of it, it was really not that good. It was over oaked. It was very low proof. I think some proof could have definitely helped this whiskey, but 18-year-old Buffalo Trace Rye I thought was going to be phenomenal and just blow my mind. Not the case. Thomas H. Handy, on the other hand, is fantastic, but that's only a 6 or 7-year-old rye. It's cask strength, it's wonderful, but Sazerac 18 was a huge letdown. Too much oak, a little bit too bitter on the end as well. So that's why it makes the number 1 bottle that I will not be chasing this year for allocation season. All right, guys, so that completes my top 5 bottles that I am not hunting for this allocation season 2024. I really am open to comments. I'm curious to know, did I get these right? Did I get these wrong? I know it's all opinion based, but let me know, what are some that you're not hunting for as well? Type that below in the comments. Let me know, maybe I'm crazy on a few of these. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. I'm very excited for this allocation season. I think it's gonna be a fun one. I hope all of you get the bottles that you're chasing after. I can't wait to get out there, go to some stores, maybe wait in some lines. It's gonna be an exciting time. Make sure you check out our Patreon below. We have barrel picks that we do, only available to Patreon members. Private group chat over there, a lot of great members. So please check the links down below, and we'll see you in the next one.